The Browns. The Cleveland Browns met with Deshaun Watson yesterday. Reportedly, team owner Jimmy Haslam, GM Andrew Berry, and coach Kevin Stefanski flew to Houston to meet with Watson after he was deposed in 2 of the 22 civil lawsuits that he's facing. So they got on the jet and they went to meet with him. While they were doing so, Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield jumped on Twitter. And he posted a 2-page screenshot of a letter that started with the following, and I quote, Cleveland, the past 4 years have been nothing short of truly life-changing since I heard my name called in the draft to go to Cleveland. This is not a message with hidden meaning. This is strictly to thank the city of Cleveland for embracing my family and me. End of quote. All right, so why don't we start to unpack this? Now, you might be thinking, kind of strange to be thanking a city when you're still under contract for the upcoming season. Don't guys normally post something like that after they've been dealt? And you might be thinking that even though he says this is not a message with a hidden meaning, there is a hidden meaning in this. Hey, I don't know about that. I don't know that there is a hidden meaning in that. Seems to me the meaning is pretty damn obvious. The meaning is out in the open. I don't think he's trying to hide anything at all. It seems to me what he wants is out. He wants out. He's not trying to hide that either. My man wants out. He went on, quote, I have no clue what happens next, which is the meaning behind the silence I have had during the duration of this process. I can only control what I can, which is trusting in God's plan throughout this process. Trust the process. End of quote. He also went on, quote, I've given this franchise everything I have. That is something I've always done at every stage and at every level, and that will not change wherever I take my next snap. Whatever happens, I just want to say thank you to the fans who truly embraced who I am and the mentality that aligns so well with this city's hardworking people. End of quote. Once again, no need to look for a hidden message there. It's pretty much spelled out. You drop that note on the day that the team is meeting with another quarterback, and there is no hidden meaning in that. He wants out. And it doesn't matter whether they get Watson or not. It seems to me he still wants out. He might not get what he wants, but he's at least trying to get some leverage in a situation where, frankly, he doesn't have much. Now, on the one hand, I really do see Baker working. He's pissed. Almost every quarterback in the league would feel the same way. You're chasing some other guy, but you're saying, I'm still the guy. Make that make sense. Not every guy would take to social media the way he did, but they'd all be thinking the exact same thing. They'd all be feeling the exact same thing. You're telling me I'm the guy, but you're all gassing up the private jet to go meet with the other guy. And they keep that private jet, and they use it to go see Deshaun Watson. So the Browns had to know that was coming. If they know Baker at all, they had to know that he was going to respond like that. Why? Because this is who he is. You think a guy who's had a chip on his shoulder as long as anybody has known him and has always been looking to prove everybody wrong every step of the way was just going to be cool with his coach going to meet with another quarterback to pitch him on coming to Cleveland. Did you think that he was going to be cool with that? Did you think he was going to be good with someone else getting a chance to finish what he had started? Did you think that he would not take to social media with it? Hell no. They knew it. They had to expect it. They clearly don't care. The team doesn't care. If you're flying to meet with a guy who is facing 22 civil lawsuits and a likely league suspension, and they know that on top of all of that, they're going to have to give up at least 3 first-round picks, and more than that, I'm sure, then very clearly they don't give a damn what Baker thinks. They don't give a damn how Baker feels. And listen, there's no doubt that Watson is a better quarterback than Mayfield. I'll be very clear about that. I'm not saying that he's not. Baker probably is the only person who would say otherwise. However, Mayfield has never been named in 22 lawsuits alleging sexual harassment and worse. It's kind of wild that we're in this spot right now. You can't say it wasn't cool for him to go on social media like that. he'd probably say, yeah, well, it wasn't cool for my coach, my GM, and the other team owner to go recruit some other guy. Neither side really cares at this point. Both sides are looking out for their own interests, and I get that. And I also want to be clear about this. Mayfield was not good last year. He was not good at all last year. Not even close. He wasn't what they needed last year. Clearly, the team thinks he's not what they need going forward. Now, how much of that was about the torn labrum? How much of that was about some weird play calling? How much of that is the fact that he's just not good enough? It could be all of the above and more. But just because he and the team had a brutal 2021 does not mean that anybody should forget what he did while he was there and why he might be pissed right now. Let's just remember this, because so many of you are so quick to rush in and kill this guy. Remember, he came to a team that was 0-16 the year before they drafted him. They were 1-15 the year before that. So they were 1-31 before he arrived. And he had them in the playoffs just 2 years later. Now, you can say that was not all him, but you can't say that none of that was him. Do you remember what it was like to get drafted by the Browns? And really, nobody wanted to go there until Baker. The franchise was an absolute joke for decades, and he helped turn them into America's team. He got them to a spot where you could talk about the Browns in the Super Bowl and you wouldn't be clowned for it. Not only was it not laughable, it became the expectation. It was the expectation last year, which is wild. And it's also wild that this is where we are right now. Wild that that relationship got that bad that fast. I mean, listen, the dude brought a confidence. He brought an edge. He brought a cockiness that the Browns had not had in a long time. Entire city like that. Hell, the country like that. Everybody was rolling out of the rack every morning, feeling and looking to be dangerous. And then what happened? He led them to a blowout win over the Steelers in Pittsburgh in the playoffs. That was only 14 months ago. That's how quickly this thing flipped. 14 months. And now he wants out, I'm sure, and they want him gone. He led them to their first playoff win in a quarter century and nearly had them upsetting Kansas City in Kansas City the following week. That was less than a year and a half ago. And now he's saying goodbye on Twitter. If you had told anyone after that game that that guy would be looking to bounce in a matter of months, we all would have laughed. Or that the team would be looking to get rid of him, we all would have laughed. But here we are. And I'll tell you who's enjoying this now. Duke Johnson. As soon as Baker hit send on his phone, old DJ wasted no time in piling on. If you saw it, Duke posted a GIF of a train wreck. Grudge much, Duke? Keeping receipts on your bathroom mirror much, DJ? You remember what that's all about, right? A couple of years ago, when Duke, then a Cleveland Brown, asked to be traded, Baker said, quote, "You're either on this train or not." So how long do you think Duke had been sitting on that? Man, you know that tweet was burning a hole in his drafts folder. Then again, you call out another player for not being, quote, on this train, then you better hope that that train never derails. You better hope that train is a smooth ride and nobody tries to beat a signal and get in front of it.